Hello YouTube, this is Bash bringing you here for the third battle of the MPL Tryouts tournament. It's in the pool stage as well. We are up against Krakenation and the Boston Bisharps, whose team consists of Megapincer, Escadrille, Tyranitar, Latias, Whimsicott, Alamolo, Embor, Rotom, Muck, Ferrothorn, Ursaring, and Avalugg. Z captains being Latias and Embor. My team consists of Victini, Suicune, Kommo-o, Sylveon, Nidoking, Raikou, Mega Aerodactyl, Registeel, Sneasel, and Lurantis, with Z captains being Kommo-o, Sneasel, and Lurantis. So, looking at his team, it's kind of a weird kind of team, but I think it kind of synergizes well with the fact that Megapincer plus the Sand Excadrill really hurts opposing teams. I think it's really hard to prep for that, as the things that usually check Excadrill, like the grass and bug types, and the grass types, are easily destroyed by Megapincer. But looking at his team, it's kind of interesting that he went with Z Latias. I can see why, but that kind of forced him to pick Z Embor, which is a little surprising as well, because I didn't really see Embor as a Z user. Because he loses with the Reckless ability when he goes for like a Z Flare Blitz, he loses the Reckless boost. So I don't know, maybe he sees something I don't, but I'm kind of worried about the fact that well, to be honest, I'm kind of worried about Hazard Stack, because I know that's going to come with Ferrothorn. I have two Defoggers, Hazard Removal was on my team, Mega Aerodactyl and Lurantis. I have a feeling that Ferrothorn is going to Hazard Stack, so I know I'm going to bring Defog this week just to take care of that. He also has some pretty good walls, but if you look at it, his walls are more physically defensive, I would say, with Alamo and Avalugg. Ferrothorn could be really either one, but Avalugg and Alamo are very physically defensive, so I got to be able to take advantage of the specially defensive side of those mons. So there's not really that much of a weakness I could really point out to this team. He does have decent hazard removal with Latias, Escadrille, Whimsicott, and Rotom, and Avalugg for the Megapincer. So it's not really that big of a deal for him for bringing Megapincer. The only thing is that his matchup against Megapincer I don't think is that amazing. Based off of the team I have, with two main Pokemon outspeeding it and being able to beat it, I would say. Let's see. I also, like, with Raikou and Mega Aerodactyl, are both able to beat that the Megapincer. So I don't know how he really feels about Megapincer this match. I'm not really expecting it that much, even though it's a top tier. As his first pick in the draft. I don't really think that Megapincer will actually come. But we'll go into our team in a second. I also feel like he has a difficult time breaking Suicune unless he's a Trick Latias, or he has Whimsicott and Rotom. And other than that, I feel like he has a really difficult time breaking down Suicune, which is very good to notice. I guess Ursaring could be really scary too, but yeah. So let's go into the team I'm bringing. First we have Mega Aerodactyl here. Mega Aerodactyl is here to help with Megapincer. It always revenges it, and it can't quick attack me, which is why I was thinking like he's not gonna bring Megapincer, because he can't really beat Mega Aerodactyl. If Mega Aerodactyl is still alive and it's still above quick attack range, which is pretty much most of the time, he can't touch Mega Aerodactyl, and I always revenge it beforehand. So that's really good to notice. I feel like Mega Aerodactyl hits his team alright with Rock Slide and Earthquake, those combinations, but the thing is that it gets kind of beat by Ferrothorn and Alamola, which is why I have Toxic for Alamola. Ferrothorn, I have a really good switch into Ferrothorn, you'll see in a minute, but You'll see it later on. So I'm not really that worried about Ferrothorn. So that's that. I have Roost on this set because I need this Mega Aerodactyl to be higher up in health, because it's actually not even that bad of a wall this match. Like a soft check to things. So it's able to take a Mega Pincers close combat. Really, I believe at plus. Was it +2 or was it just a regular? I think it's a regular close combat. And so that's really good as well. And Toxics is nice for a lot of his mons that want to switch in on it. So I'm gonna go next is Terminator here. It's my win con this match. Dragon Dance, Drain Punch, Outrage, Poison Jab. This thing can do well as long as some of his walls are broken, like Alamola. If that's kind of like broken, I'm able to get through that thing pretty well. I just have to be careful of the Mega Pincer with Quick Attack. I have really good checks to Mega Pincer. That's the only reason I wasn't thinking it was going to really come. But I still have to be prepared for that. So this thing gets up a D-Dance, and it comes infinitely more scary. I'm able to take out the Excadrill pretty much at +1 with the Dream Punch. I'm able to take out the T-Tar, definitely get all the health back from both of them. Latias does not want to take a Z Outrage. Neither does Whimsicott, gets taken down by Poison Jab. Alamo doesn't want to take a Z Outrage, or Latias doesn't want to take Outrage either. Emboar does not want to take any of these moves, and he can't really hit me that hard back. Then there's Rotom, doesn't want to take Outrage. Muck doesn't want to take an Outrage. Ferrothorn doesn't want to take a Drain Punch. Ursaring doesn't want to take a Drain Punch, and Avalugg doesn't really want to take a Drain Punch, even though it's a pretty good wall. So I feel like Como could do really well this match. It's just that I have to wear down some of his checks to this thing, and if Mega Pinsir isn't there, I'm gonna feel so much more confident about this. And Whimsicott, because if Whimsicott's not there, I could Outrage, and I'm not gonna really have to worry about it because Ferrothorn's the only thing that can really come in on that, and Ferrothorn does not really want to do much back to me. So that's really good to know. This thing, it just seems so hard. So we're gonna go next into Suicune, the Riverdale. Pretty generic set with Rest, Sleep Talk, Roar, Scald. Helps with the Excadrill. It helps with the T-Tar. It helps with Emboar. It helps with a lot of things. Avalugg as well. Roar. I really like Roar to mess things around with the sand. It could be really annoying. That could be really annoying. And I really want to. If I get rocks up, it would be really good to get if Mega Pinsir is here, because if I wear this down with rock switch-ins, Mega Pinsir becomes not really existent in this matchup. So, and his team doesn't really. He does have really good removal, but I don't know if he wants to take rocks damage all the time, especially if he's going to be bringing his own hazard stack. I don't know if he's going to be really carrying Defog, and if he does, then he could get rid of his own hazard stack as well, which is really important for my team as well. Then we got Registeel here. Stealth Rocks, Protect, Toxic, Seismic Toss. This is here to help with a lot of the specialty offensive threats that really aren't there. Like, I guess Latias is pretty much the best one. By the way, this thing can take a +6 Draco Meteor from Latias. So that's just speaking for mine. This thing really helps with that. Stealth Rocks are really nice for this match. Protect this to waste sand turns, as well as watch out for Z moves, because Latias could be a Z move. We got Toxic here, just because his team doesn't like Toxic. Seismic Toss, just for damage on everything. Rotom could come on this, but I could just Toxic that. So that's not really that big of a deal. Next we have Saber here. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, HP Fire. I decided with HP Fire because he has things like the Excadrill, Whimsicott, and the Ferrothorn that all get hit by HP Fire really hard. I can't really touch Tyranitar with this, but Terminator always forces out Tyranitar, and you'll see the next mon also forces out Tyranitar as well. So I feel like I'm not really that worried. I could just Volt Switch on the Tyranitar and bring in those mons and just completely force him out. So I feel like this could do really well as long as Excadrill is not in sand. It also gives me another soft check to Mega Pinsir. If he gets up at SD, Quick Attack. I have Mega Aerodactyl and Raikou to both handle it, because Quick Attack is not going to do that much to either one of them. So that's what I have here. This thing can also really hit his team hard because, as I said before, his team's very physically defensive, and I feel like Saber is able to break through that, especially with like not really anything wants to switch in on this that well other than T-Tar. So once T-Tar's down, Raikou can really go ham. I decided to go with leftovers just because I don't want this thing to get worn down too much because of the fact that I do not have wish passing this match. I felt like Raikou was able to switch in Alamora really well, but if I get burned or something like that, I'd rather not get chipped down too much, especially with him having sand as well. I don't want to get chipped down too much with it. So, and last but not least, we have Demeter, who's also physically defensive to help with the sand core as well, and can help with Rotom and Whimsicott as well. We got Defog, Synthesis, Superpower, and Knockoff with the Lepaberry. I don't know exactly if the Lepaberry is legal. I asked Trev to about it, who's the commissioner for this tryout tournament. He hasn't responded yet, but I'll let you know. If this isn't Lepaberry, it will be leftovers in the matchup. So Defog, of course, for Hazard Stack because of Ferrothorn. Synthesis for Lab Recovery. Superpower hits his team really hard. And I have Knockoff as well for the Latias. I think and knocking off items like that knocking items off are really good for this team. So I feel like this thing can put in the work. If Mega Pinsir isn't here, I might be able to just beat his team using this mon, like a Mega Pinsir. Actually, like defensive, this thing really just runs through his team if I really needed to. Knockoff is there for the Rotom as well, but this thing switches in on Ferrothorn pretty much all the time, which is really good. That means I'm able to defog the hazards the hazard stacks right away. Like I'm able to get rid of them right off the bat. I can immediately pressure it with Superpower and start setting up with it. A lot of his team is physically offensive, so that getting the Superpower boost just makes it really a lot harder to kill. If I get up to +2, I believe, I live Emboar Flare Blitz from a Choice Scarf set, so that's really something to take note of. I feel like, and then Mega Pinsir is really the only thing that causes this thing issues. Other than that, this thing is able to go through, can run through teams. So I'm really looking forward to Lurantis making its debut for this tryout tournament. As I said before, Lepaberry is for Superpower because I feel like I'm going to be spamming Superpower a lot. So I guess that Lepaberry is for Superpower PP. That's really what it is for. It's not for anything else. So I'm hoping that it kind of works out because Lurantis, because I did actually before this team builder, I did actually have Sylveon over on the team instead of Lurantis, but I couldn't really switch into Ferrothorn at all, which is kind of really weird to say. And I kind of felt like Aerodactyl was missing his spot because I had put Defog on Aerodactyl at first, but I feel like Defog is a lot better on Lurantis to open up Aerodactyl. And even though Sylveon, I had a choice spec set for Sylveon at first, kind of ran through his team. I just didn't feel like it's kind of worth for Mega Aerodactyl and another check to the ground staff, his sand core, because if Suicune is pressured enough, I still have a backup option to the sand and Lurantis, which is really good, I think. And I'm able to Superpower and get those defense boosts as he tries to set up or something like that. I think that would really work out and we could waste out turns. Both the Sand Core do not want to deal with fighting coverage, so Superpower is just the top of that. And yeah, that's what I gotta say. The match will be going up the next day, so hopefully that works out. Until next time, thank you for watching. Until next time, Bash out.